guys! Today I will be showing you how to create great thumbnails for your next character design. So how can you make your absolute best art right now? In this video, I'll show you how I use thumbnails to improve my art more in 1 month than I had in an entire year before that. I went from drawing this and feeling really frustrated and upset with what I was creating to drawing this and feeling really excited and proud of my work. A lot of you already have the ability to draw better than you ever have before, and so what we're going to do today is take that power and unleash it. On this channel, I do art tutorials and tips, so please subscribe if you're interested in more, and if you want a more in-depth look at how I create my art, check out my Patreon. So I know a lot of you are probably thinking, yeah, thumbnails, I know the whole spiel. I knew about thumbnails before too, but I didn't know how to use them the right way, and more than that, how to wield them like a master, which is what I'm going to teach you today. If you're like I was, you often get to the end of your painting and you find that your design lacks character. That's because before you can make a successful character design, you need to give it some soul. By using thumbnails the right way, you'll be guaranteeing yourself a successful, purposeful, well-designed character. So let's level up. Today I'll share how I brainstorm, how I choose which thumbs are good and which ones are bad, 4 distinct thumbnailing styles and when you should use them, how I push and iterate beyond my imagination, and finally how I tie all of this together to create an awesome character design. So let's do it. So where does a drawing actually start? How do you avoid staring at a blank screen for a decade? Don't start your thumbnails with a blank screen and no inspiration. Begin your thumbnails by doing some research. Do a quick Google, Pinterest search, whatever your preferred method is, to get your creative juices flowing. What I want to start today is an Italian carnival character design, inspired by the theme for the character design challenge that's being held over on Facebook. You can see already that there's a lot of really cool, amazing, intricate designs from these first few image results, but let's just choose one feature to start us off. In this case, I'm going to start by brainstorming characters based just around masks. The masks are such a defining part of Carnival that I think it's a really good jumping off point for this design. Even by brainstorming off of one Carnival element, I've come up with about 10 different designs already. Now think of the next character design you want to create and think of one defining feature about that character. Are you creating a princess? Maybe create a design based all around crowns. Make 10 different thumbnails based all around crowns. You can see how you can get really crazy by repeating this process. Pick out 5 defining features and make a ton of different combinations of all of those. Avoid picking out a ton of features in the beginning. If you spread yourself too thin, you'll miss out on exploring all of these features in depth. I would also encourage you to really take your time when doing these. I often get lost when I'm doing thumbnails, which I think is a really awesome thing because it allows you to really get into the creative mindset and create some really cool thumbnails. You'll also save a lot of time when you go to do the final painting because in these initial stages you're exploring all of this different stuff and really working out all the minute details for your final design. Have you ever struggled through a couple of hours of painting thumbnails and at the end of it, it looks like stick figures on a napkin, and then you go and look at such and such artist thumbnails and it's amazing and you feel horrible about your drawings? How do their seemingly simple thumbs have so much character? The best way to achieve these seemingly effortless thumbs is by employing a number of different thumbnailing styles to create really fresh, unique thumbnails. I like to call this thumbnail layering. I'm going to show you a few different thumbnailing styles to get you started and how to use each of those effectively. Making black shape silhouettes is an awesome way to get started. You don't have to stress about details and you can create a lot of thumbnails really quickly. A really effective way to get more out of these types of thumbs is to take these and start combining them. See what new silhouettes you can make from what you already have. You can even just scribble and then cut shapes out of your scribbles with an eraser. Seriously, don't be afraid to fail. This is the time to try everything and fearlessly explore the unknown. Don't play it safe at this part. Now, with all these ideas down, it's really easy to take these initial thumbnails and start making sketch thumbnails over them to create your next set of iterations. Select the layer your silhouette thumbnails are on, turn the opacity down so they are more of a light gray, make a new layer above that and start sketching over the thumbnail. This sketchy thumbnail is great for getting more detail into your thumbs, and having the silhouette to work over makes you more confident in your approach. This style does take longer per thumbnail, but I think it's one of the most fun ways that you can play with different ideas and really get a lot of cool detail into your character thumbnails. I love achieving painterly textures in my work, so I have a ton of fun playing with this thumbnail style. This is a really good style to use to iterate on your initial thumbnails. These do tend to take a lot longer, but they also allow me to show more details, which is great for you to start figuring out the final details for your character design. Now already I want to show you how much I'm getting from this. Look at this shape. This could be a really cool pose. Look at this thing. What's that? This could be a really cool prop or part of the costume. What does it say about the character? Look at these. We can really go for a really royal, regal look with this. Look at all of the ideas we're getting. There's no need to commit yet. Just run with it. Textures to these painted thumbs is a great way to add an additional layer of detail. Create a new layer over your painted thumbs layer. Paste a cool texture that you found over this layer. Select the layer that the texture is on, and then change the layer modes to see what neat, cool surprises you can come up with. By this point, you probably have a ton of ideas down, right? And you're probably feeling like you're ready to stop, right? Don't stop thumbnailing yet. This is the point at which I'd already have been thumbnailing for X number of hours. I was starting to get impatient and I wanted to just start painting. But that's why I always failed. It's time to unlock your final level of thumbnailing power. Let's really take those ideas and push them as far as we possibly can. I'm going to show you how to do this by taking one of the thumbnails I've made above and pushing it even further. I'm choosing this thumbnail in particular because I feel like it already has a lot of really cool elements, and I think it'd become even cooler if I added additional details to it and really played with the features that it already has. I go into even more detail about this in my Patreon packages, so if you're interested in that, be sure to head over there and grab those. The absolute biggest piece of advice I can give to you in this iteration step is to be really bold. Be patient and have fun. Just try to make your design too crazy. Try to make it too unbelievable. You can always pull a design back if necessary, but if you keep pushing yourself, you will end up with a character who has something totally unique and interesting. Feel free to keep combining all of these different thumbnail styles and all of the different thumbnails that you've made until you've come up with something that you're really, really proud of and you think is really unique and special. And now look what we have! Holy crap! Had I not thumbed, I would have been left with a halfway decent sketch, but you can see that the more I iterated, the better my designs became, and I'm really, really proud with this ending thumbnail. Now, one thing to note is that getting here is really hard if you go it alone at first. So share your process. Ask people on Facebook what they think. Join an art group on Facebook and ask them for advice and critique. See what thumbs other people like, see what they don't like, see what they'd add. It's really an awesome way to get a fresh perspective. So do pick stopping points during your thumbnailing process and ask people for critique. Also, it's really important to take breaks. Every couple hours, just walk away from your art for 10 minutes. It's really easy to become desensitized to your work if you're just staring at it constantly. So that 10-minute break can leave you feeling fresh, so you come back and you see mistakes that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. Question of the day: what are you struggling with and what do you want to see tutorials on? Leave your comments below on that. Please like and subscribe to be updated on when I release part 2 of this video, in which I'll be taking this thumbnail to a complete, fully finished character design. In a couple days, I'll be live streaming on Twitch to go more in depth about this process. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the live stream announcement. Livestream will mostly focus on this video and the Patreon packages, and will be open to any questions that you guys have, so I'm really excited to interact with you guys a little bit more. To support these videos and enable me to put out even more content for you guys, head to my Patreon to get the full tutorials and go even more in depth about my painting process. I really want all of you to succeed. If you're on Instagram, tag me at KimbyArting so I can see your awesome designs. I'm so excited to check out what you guys make. See you in the next video.